Guys, welcome back. It's been a really long time, and I'm actually so happy to be filming again and to be kind of sharing what has been happening these past few months. Yeah, obviously you see the New York City footage. I visited the city. Sorry, the light's going to be changing. It's a little sunny out. And I've definitely made some new pickups. I've definitely been making some things that I want to show you, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, I'm sitting on basically a broken bench, so I'm gonna try not to die. But yeah, so I guess the new event has been the fact that I've been like making my own clothes now. I have a maker space at my school, and I've been going and sewing, and I've been kind of taking that DIY stuff to a new level and being able to customize my own stuff and make my own clothes. And it's really exciting, and there's some things that I made that I think are pretty cool. So let's get right into it. So again, with pickups, it's been a little limited. There's a few pickups that I'll probably show around the middle that I'm super happy with, things I've been waiting to get for a long time. But I wanted to start with this leather jacket, this A.P.C leather jacket. And I guess I'll just sit with it on my lap. But the story with this jacket, you can actually see it in one of my first few videos the last summer. And I bought the jacket at an A.P.C sample sale. It was kind of my first leather piece. It was honestly way too big for me. I really just loved it because it was a new style for me. It was a new experience. And what I've done with this jacket is basically fitted it to myself. So the back has this stitching where I've essentially kind of pulled the excess leather tight at the waist, and I've stitched it in to kind of make that corset-esque silhouette. And that was the first thing I did to this jacket. It was a bit of trial and error. It was a little bit scary because I was, this was an expensive jacket, and I was worried about damaging the leather, and it was a process. And yes, there are some battle scars that I will show on the jacket, but ultimately I think it turned out pretty well. The second thing I did with this jacket is I wore it in the shower, and that gave it this crazy wrinkling. You can see kind of some of the wrinkling on the arms. It's just a super unique texture, a texture that I was really loving from Carol Christian Poel, Isaac Selman, I believe, Boris. They all had this really unique, nice texture, and I wanted to kind of replicate that effect and get that effect. So I wore it in the shower, and it molded to me in another layer. Some of the structure of the jacket, which it initially had, was lost, but I think it turned out well. Just super excited to try that style of cinching and fitting. I also made my girlfriend a jacket in a similar style, and that turned out really well as well. Okay, so this next one is a fun one, and it's fun because it was kind of one of the first pieces I ever worked on. And it was my denim jacket that I was kind of bringing around the world to try and customize and make into this vision I had of the perfect denim jacket. What ended up happening, I think, was a little bit different from my initial vision. You can see some of the studs. You can see that leather collar studded. And I attached that myself. I actually cut this collar off another jacket, applied it to this jacket, and then I actually studded all around. So I have studs all around the collar. I have studs on the back. And I think the coolest piece is this paint on the back, and that's actually a logo, an insignia from Full Metal Alchemist, probably one of the best animes of all time. But what I've loved about making my own stuff is you can kind of continually iterate through, and one day I want to work on something, one day I want to work on something else, and you just constantly be adding little touches, painting, doing all this stuff, and then you get these beautiful, finished products where a month or two later the piece becomes totally unrecognizable and totally special. And this is that piece for me. The next thing to talk about is actually on my feet right now, and feels nice to have the toesies out. These are cowboy boots, and they're not just any cowboy boots. They're Lucchese cowboy boots, a esteemed U.S. made in Texas brand. founded by an Italian immigrant. So a shop in my town stocks them, a local shop in my college town. And this pair is actually a woman's pair, but I am a woman's size 11, and I tried these on. They fit like a glove. I'll just leave it like right here. This one had been on the floor for a long time, so it was 30% off. Still expensive. It was about four-ish hundred. I had been looking for that silhouette for so long, and I finally found it. Couldn't pass it up, and I've just been spamming them, wearing them pretty much every day. I'll give them a day of rest, back at it. I think they're beautiful boots. I think they're beautifully made. I really would love another pair of cowboy boots as well, but you know, these have been just absolutely doing the job. Ugh. So I think the story of my style the last few months has really been a story of denim and leather and about uniqueness. And this kind of sums it up. Right here we have what I call the cloud denim, and this is a jean that my mom gave me that I just loved the silhouette and the shape and the fit on me, but I just wanted to have something a little unique and a little special about them. So what I did was I tried to create this like fractal paint effect, and I just kind of painted them, mashed it up, repainted, mashed it up again, and I got something that is reminiscent of clouds. It's not exactly like a cloud, but I call it the cloud denim because I think that's really what it's symbolic of. A lot of my work has been trying to take these lovely natural patterns like tree bark, like clouds, like, you know, grass, leaves, all these interesting, unique, beautiful textures and patterns, and take that into clothing. And I think with paint, you can get some of that detail. I think at every different level of seeing these jeans, there's just more to see and more little things that you wouldn't notice until you get close, or things that pop out when you're far away. My influence and my idea is trying to bring that, and that's what these have done, I think, better than pretty much anything else I have. All right, another jacket. This is probably my most complimented piece, and I call this the Ouroboros jacket just because we have that painted Ouroboros over the Harley Davidson logo. I mean, I just think it's sick. I think it's so sick. I even put a little stud there. So there's a little stud where the Harley Davidson eye is of the eagle. The arms have Japanese lettering, courtesy of my girlfriend. And the way paint just works with leather is just absolutely wonderful. You get such a unique texture. You get fades over time as the paint kind of flakes and wears. I studded out the rim of the sleeves. So there's kind of like these really cool cylindrical studs. I painted the front, studded the front, studded. I painted here, studded there, blah, blah, blah. You know, studded the belt a little bit. And it's just one of these things that I've been kind of working on a little bit at a time. And with the paint and all the studs and stuff like that, I think it just has a presence of a real baller, like punk piece. Someone stopped me today and asked for my name because they loved the jacket so much, which I realized I should have segued into like asking if they wanted me to make them something similar, and that's a missed opportunity, as like I would love commission pieces right now and just like send me your jacket and let's make something cool happen. So that was a missed opportunity. I think for now I'm good with the paint. But definitely more studs. I want this kind of whole section studded. And yeah, it's fun because everything is a work in progress. But I want to share where it's at now, because in a month or even a week, it could just be looking completely different. So this is like progress update of the Ouroboros jacket. All right, let's talk accessories. I have been studding belts recently, like by my own. This is the most recent belt. So I picked this belt up from my thrift store. It was just a really nice cow leather. It's like calf leather. It's a nice leather. And then I decided to stud it out with these circular dome studs. And I just like the effect. I like the spacing of it. And it works super well in combination with the first belt I did. And this belt was a nightmare to do. It took hours and hours and hours to stud. I packed in so many studs on it. But I think when I pair these two belts together, and I'll show you some outfits, you can get some pretty cool effects. And we're getting some rain now, so I might have to boogie on out of here. But I'm just proud to be able to wear stuff that I had a part in, you know, and that is fitting very well how I feel and how I'm thinking about fashion and style in the moment, because I can modify stuff on a given day. And when a piece comes together like this and I put in the hours, it's super gratifying, and I love wearing it, and I love styling them together. And like you can see these babies took some effort. This is a Ralph Lauren hat I've been spamming. I totally evolved this thing. I cut it up, I burned it a little bit, painted it, sewed in some patches, put on some studs, everything. I cut out the Ralph Lauren tag and then sewed it on the outside. I sewed on some other stuff. I put in all this thread, and it's just this it's a conglomeration. I don't know if that's a word in that context, but it's a melange. Spent weeks on it, you know, just kind of adding a little here, adding a little there, stud here, stud there, little paint, a little distressing. That weird, unique hat stuff I think is super in. And this is like my hat of the summer. All right, this is the last thing I have, and it is my mommy's denim. She gave me these jeans because they were just too ripped up and distressed from her work for her to even wear, and man, are they in bad shape. And I say that lovingly because that's kind of the wave, super distressed, super beat stuff, right? So these have been an inspiration, I think, for some of my other denim, because they have that natural painter's effect. They have super major distressing on the knees. They have all this paint, color, texture, and I added like a stud on the heel, which fell off. But yeah, this has kind of served as an inspiration. The way the fabric has worn down over time makes it a denim that has an almost slouchiness to it. When you walk, it kind of moves with you because it has been broken. The cotton itself has been broken so much. And that is one of the most satisfying things. When you walk and like it's like bell bottoms, but they're not stiff. They kind of flow with you. It's a beautiful, beautiful effect. One that I really wish I could replicate, but I don't think you can get there except by wearing. And my mom just these were her work pants over a period of 4-ish years. And I'm super grateful to have them and wear them. And I think if I had a most complimented pant, it's 100% these, because they just have that natural aura that you can't manufacture, and you can't even do it in the Ideal Lab or anywhere else. It's just something that's been beaten and broken in with time, and it's just beautiful. So shout out my mom for being a major inspiration with these beautiful denims. And that's it. I have actually a lot more stuff, but I didn't want to come on and make like a 30-minute, 40-minute video just kind of throwing so much stuff at you guys. I kind of wanted to have some measured stuff, see what we thought about it, because this is pretty new for me. Usually I'm just kind of buying and showing, and this is more show and tell. And I'm interested for your feedback on the stuff I've made, and if you want to see more, if you want to see how I'm making stuff, I would love to film some of that. I look forward to hearing what you all have to say. Peace.